It would seem that the secrets in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 are never ending, and today I have another 15 for you all. Welcome, you're listening to Phil of Filbee Gaming, and this is part 10 of the series, bringing us a staggering figure of 150 secrets in total. In today's video, we'll be looking at such things as continuity, hidden messages, interactions and how to trigger them, and past game references you may have missed, for example. You may know some of them, all of them, or this all may be new to you, depending on how much exploration you've put into the game. If you enjoy what you see, you all know what to do, and please be aware that there will be spoilers ahead for the title. With that being said, I hope you all enjoy, and let's get into what we came here to see. 15 secrets still unseen by some players, part 10. Starting things off today, I want to take us over to the mysterious hill home that's located in the Grizzlies East. Most players will recognise this as a reference to the fantasy novel turned movie franchise The Hobbit, but what some may not have noticed is who currently resides there. If you pay attention to the marking on the roof of the building, you will recognise this as the symbol for the Chelonian cult that are featured in the game. Adding to this, the tree just outside of the home has special markings on it that you will need to be located in a specific position to view in its entirety. Down on the ground, it doesn't seem much, but if you stand next to the Chelonian marking on the home, you can see the text in full view. The lettering is mirrored, but we can make out the word Leader X. This could be one of two things. It may be either the current leader of the Chelonians, or possibly the original founder when the cult was formed. After rescuing Jack from the clutches of Angelo Bronte, the gang celebrate his return with a party that goes long into the night. One by one, the members of the Van der Linde gang head to bed after a night of drinking, and most players will eventually do the same when they've had enough. But for those who stick around a little longer, there's an interaction that I think some may not have seen. It's a drunken argument between Bill Williamson and Simon Pearson that ends with one of the men flat on his back.
You know, the problem with you, Pearson, is that you're just a goddamn drunk.
Is that right?
Sure is.
But the problem with you, Williamson, is that you're all talk.
All talk, huh?
Shit.
After returning from Guarma, Arthur, in a heartbreaking moment, is diagnosed with tuberculosis, beginning the end of his journey.
What is it?
It's not good news.
I guess that.
You got tuberculosis. Really sorry for you, son. It's a hell of a thing.
What you mean?
You're real sick. It's a progressive disease, and you'll be... Well, the best thing is rest.
A small detail that some may not have noticed is the multiple dialogues after this if you return to the Saint Denis Doctor.
Hello again. How you feeling?
Worse. Like you said I would.
Well, what can I get for you? Another shot, maybe? Oh, hello. I was hoping you'd be in a sanatorium somewhere out west by now.
Yeah, I need money for that.
Okay, well, don't leave it too long, please. So, what can I get for you?
In the Valentine train station, there's a request pinned to the wall from one Miss Hobbs, who's seeking a hunter for assistance, thus triggering the Wildlife Art Exhibition side quest. Players who complete all 6 request forms are invited to the home of the taxidermist, where after showing off her collections, Miss Hobbs rewards the player with a squirrel statue. This begins a secondary quest that some may not have realised. In the epilogue, when at Beecher's Hope, John can place the statue above the fireplace.
What is that?
It's art.
Oh. That's what they call it.
Every day or so, the ornament keeps disappearing from its resting place and ending up in different locations, such as the chest in the master bedroom, the chimney there also, the chest in Uncle's room, the wheelbarrow in the sheep pen, the chest in the barn, and its final place, the top of Mount Shan. Finding the squirrel statue each time it goes missing and placing it back where it belongs will unlock the secret achievement, It's Art. Although many players are probably aware of this next one, there may be some who have struggled to trigger it. In the city of Saint-Denis, there are a total of 5 scribblings across the southern areas which the player can note down in their journal. Upon finding all 5, they will draw a pentagram, unlocking the mystery to the markings. This hidden scene can only be triggered between 1 and 2 AM, and it's in the back alleys of the city.
So, you found me.
Hey, what are you doing?
Stay back for your own sake. I walk with the undead.
What, you're a vampire?
I have been called many names over the centuries. Now go, or I'll feed on you too.
You're no more vampire than I am.
I'll suck you dry. Your blood is mine. You are the 7th.
In part 9 of the series, I included the UFOs of the game, one of which occurs at Hanny's Bethel, but there's something else of interest here, and it relates to the wandering soul, Nigel, who's searching for his friend, Gavin. At the old schoolhouse, if you position yourself just right next to the table, you can see that the floorboards are laid out in a particular way, and that they spell out a name, Gavin. Could this explain what happened to the man? Was he taken by visitors from another world? When riding through the Heartlands, players may encounter this stranded NPC who needs assistance. When taking her to her home in Emerald Ranch, she speaks of the following.
Emerald Ranch, well, it's a strange place.
How so?
The owner's a mean bastard. Strange, too. Delights in bullying folk. There's a daughter, but she never leaves the house. You can see her in the window sometimes.
She is referring to Miriam Wagner, whom you can in fact see sometimes, just as the lady said, in the upstairs window of the ranch owner's home. If you wish to know more on this story, I have a video on this, which I'll leave linked below. When bringing food supplies back to the camp, depending on what you're carrying, did you notice that the gang can react differently? For example, if you carry a skunk through, they will react as follows.
Hey, Tilly.
That smells something fierce, Arthur.
There he is.
What are you doing bringing a skunk in here, Arthur? I wonder about you sometimes.
But if you carry something that's a little more appetizing, they will react more positively.
My, what a tremendous beast.
Mr. Strauss.
Mr. Pearson is going to be happy with that.
Yes.
Just don't try to carry a corpse back.
Who goes there? What are you doing?
What
is wrong with you?
To the rear of the Braithwaite Manor, there's a large tree with a carving. It reads, "Where the Death Adder Spits." It's a pretty cryptic message, but it can be broken by visiting the in-game map. If you view Copperhead Landing, you will notice that it somewhat resembles a snakehead, and if it were to spit, so to speak, it would land roughly on the small islands north of Saint Denis. If you are to explore these islands, you will find a lockbox with a letter to Douglas Gray from one Lucille Braithwaite, giving us an explanation as to how the feud between the two rivaling families began. I'll leave it on screen for a moment for those wishing to pause and read through it. There's a tragic tale of love and death that some may have missed. In Big Valley, West Elizabeth, there's a home known as Lenore View. Outside of the home, players can find a handwritten note from one Jim Payton, informing any visitors that he's left to pick up the new Mrs. Payton from her mother's house and will be back in a few days. Nearby, we can discover that Jim never made it there. At the bottom of a cliff, players can find the remains of Jim among his crashed cart, indicating he had veered off the road. At this site, we can find a marriage certificate and a picture of his wife, Mildred. If you return to Lenore View sometime later, you can see that the bride had visited the home after Jim never turned up and had left the following letter, believing that Jim had given up on his commitment. Once more, I'll leave it on screen for a moment if you wish to pause and read. There's a couple of references to the previous Rockstar Games title, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. In one of the more remembered missions of the game, protagonist Carl Johnson must come to the aid of his brother and fellow Grove Street gang members following the betrayal of Big Smoke and Ryder. When arriving at the Mulholland intersection, CJ walks into a huge gang shootout. Members of the Grove Street gang have positioned their vehicles in such a manner to provide cover. This is replicated several times in Red Dead Redemption 2, respectively with carts this time, such as this one in Cholla Springs. Reverend Orville Swanson spends most of the early chapters of the game strung out on whatever he can find. He stumbles around the camp, often intoxicated. Gang members feel sorry for the man of the cloth and often try to help him out. What some may not have realised is that the Reverend has a secret stash hidden inside the gang's camp. If you locate his Bible and open it up, you will come across a morphine syringe. Going back to the party after Jack's rescue, Dutch van der Linde makes a strong speech to a few members of the gang whilst at a campfire. You will notice that as he hits a powerful moment in his tellings, a thunderstorm immediately begins, emphasising his point, and continues on for the remainder of the celebrations. This was potentially Rockstar's way to implement how powerful and intimidating the leader was supposed to be.
We are gonna leave this place, and we are gonna find our own paradise, our own heaven. Tahiti, Fiji, Australia, the real new world. Not this godforsaken dump that all of Europe's detritus has acted out its vengeance on. We are gonna be free!
This was potentially Rockstar's way to implement how powerful and intimidating their leader was supposed to be. Later on in the title, after we enter Chapter 4, the player can activate a stranger mission in the town of Valentine, where two brothers are battling it out to win the affections of a lady. After the second interaction with the trio, where we beat the pair up, there's some dialogue that you may have missed. All you need to do is follow the group into the nearby Saints Hotel.
Truly, I could ride to Strawberry in the state I'm in.
Both of you are going to bed, and that's the end of it.
A bath. Maybe that's what I need. Would you bathe me, sweet Helen?
Do you hear that wretch? That lascivious monster? If you're bathing anyone, you're bathing me. And you can be assured of my chivalry, fair girl.
Here's the hotel. We're almost there. Horrible Mr. You have your fun with these boys. Now let me look after them.
Lastly today, we're heading over to Scarlet Meadows. There's an abandoned shack that you will recognise as the staging area for the Pouring Forth Oil mission. If you return to this site, there's a cellar in the structure that can be explored, with a couple of things to take note of. Firstly, there are several names carved into the wooden beams of the ceiling, which, judging by the years dated alongside them, are possibly the identities of former slaves, although some speculate that it may be the names of the developers of the title. Secondly, an open cabinet towards the wall has not only a few items, which include a cigarette card and some provisions, but if you look at the formation of the matches upon the shelf and follow the arrow that they form, it will guide you to a hidden stash at the opposite end of the room. Behind a stone in the wall, players can obtain a total of $50. So there we have it, 150 secrets from the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, you all know what to do. Some of you may be aware, as I've mentioned on my community page, that I'll be doing a special edition of this series showing secrets that this incredible community has made us all aware of. So if there are any secrets you know that you feel others may not, feel free to share in the comment section below, and if it makes it into a video, you'll of course be given full credit. If you wish to get in touch, you can do so by following me over on Instagram, that's at Filbee Gaming. Thank you guys for watching, this has been part 10, and I'll see you in the special edition.